So my phone is literally sitting on another stack of books right now, but not my phone, my laptop because I'm using its webcam, 720 pixels by the way. Read books, guys. Read books. I have no ring light anyway. I only have this mic, but you can see the room's got this yellow white bulb glow that makes everything look a shade worse than it actually is, you know. But anyway, I usually hit record. I watch myself in this little preview window here, and for a second, I just sit there thinking, this looks cheap. Not the message, the message that I believe in, that I believe in. I mean, the video itself. The video looks cheap. And when I even think about it like that, I'd go back to my grandmother's transistors, my great grandmother's transistor radio. God rest, may the Lord rest us all in peace. She died last year in December. And the sound which usually came from the radio, it was usually half static, it was half a voice, and you had to hold the radio in a certain kind of an angle near the window, or the preacher on the Sunday morning turned into pure noise. She never once complained about the static, by the way. She'd tilt the radio, she'd find the angle, and lean her whole body towards that crackling little speaker, like the static was just a toll you paid to get to the actual words. And nobody in the room ever said the sermon didn't count because the radio was cheap. But what seems to bother me is that I don't know where I started believing the opposite, that the container has to be as polished as the thing inside it, or the thing inside doesn't land, doesn't get delivered. Somewhere between growing up on the static heavy radio and sitting here with a phone that lights up or shoots in worse lighting than a studio ring setup, I picked up the idea that the truth needs good lighting, that an idea only travels if it arrives dressed properly. I mean, I catch myself scrolling past creators with the gimbal or the softbox, the clean audio, and some part of me goes quiet and small sometimes. Like the quality of my equipment is a referendum on whether what I've got to say deserves to be heard at all. It depends on the quality of my equipment. But you know what, guys? Here's what I don't say out loud enough, not even to myself. That gimbal costs that the gimbal costs more than most people my age make in a month. The ring lights, I mean the mic, or that studio. None of that is neutral. It's not that those creators simply cared more or tried harder. I mean, somewhere along the line, they had the capital I don't have, and I mean, the algorithm doesn't know the difference between polished because privileged and polished because skilled. It just sees clean footage and treats it like its credibility. That's how it is here, quality of equipments. So now the same gap that decides who gets the good schools, okay? I mean, who gets the family land, who gets the head start in the corporate ladder. The same gap just found a new place to show up on a screen here, in pixels. It's dressed up as a test question instead of what it actually is, which is a money question, same as always. But I usually go back and forth on this more than I let on. Some nights I think, sometimes I think just that I just need to save up. I just need to buy the light. I need to buy a good mic with the noise cancellation. I mean, I need to stop making excuses. But also on other nights, I think no, that's exactly the trap. Waiting for permission dressed up as equipment, that I need to wait for my equipment to be better for me to record and post. But like I tell myself I'll finally say the thing once the room looks great, or the room looks right. Then when then when then when then maybe then I will post. I mean, I've watched myself delay a video for weeks over lighting, that for lighting, and what actually makes even a complete nonsense is that since 6 months from now, I don't mean that in a bad way, pardon my dialect. I mean, 6 months from now, nobody watching this video, even other videos, is even going to remember about the previous video they've watched in that quality. I don't fully know which voice is right anyway. Maybe they're both a little right. Maybe the truth is I should keep saving for the light and also stop waiting for it to start talking. But what I keep coming back to is still my great grandmother, how she used to lean in towards the static. I mean, she wasn't leaning towards this radio. She was leaning towards the voice inside the radio. The static was never the point of Sunday morning. I mean, it was just the tax, on getting there. Same as this white bulb light is a tax on this video, same as the phone mic or this, which is picking up a bit of harm from maybe my neighbor upstairs or another person walking outside. It's still a tax on what I'm about to say next. And still, coming back to my grandmother, nobody in that room ever once said the sermon didn't count. And see, so here's where I've actually landed, at least for today. And I'm not going to pretend the low quality doesn't matter, guys. That pretending that will be its own kind of dishonest. Me pretending that doesn't matter, because clearly it does something to how seriously people take a video before they've even heard of a word of it. The quality of the video, the 4K, the 2K, the 1080. But I'm also not going to let the wait for better equipment become the reason the actual words never go out. I mean, the static was never going to stop my great grandmother from hearing what she needed to hear. So I also don't see why it should stop anyone, even you, from hearing me either. You on the other side, yes, you. Anyways, guys, my phone is still on another stack. My phone, my laptop, I usually on another stack of books, and they're still on the stack of books. The white bulb here still doing what it does. But anyway, I usually still hit record anyway. So I'd also say to you, just do it, man. You may never, just do it. Guys, thanks for watching.